A very good evening. You're watching the 8 o'clock news. I'm Rishika Barua. Let's get you up to speed with the top headlines we're tracking tonight. The first minister in the Modi cabinet to break silence over the Lakhimpur violence. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman calls it absolutely condemnable. Uttar Pradesh minister reaches out to the families of party workers killed, but no senior UP government minister has visited the farmers or the journalists just yet. Rahul Gandhi-led Congress delegation met President Ram Nath Kovind today, demanded that Union Minister Ajay Mishra be sacked. The Congress claims the President has assured he'll speak to the government over the issue. No bail for Aryan Khan and others. Hearing to continue at noon tomorrow. Sharad Pawar, meanwhile, hit out at the government today, said NCB, CBI, IT department and the Enforcement Directorate are all being misused. 4 Muslim youth arrested at a Garba event in Indore in Madhya Pradesh, giving a divisive tinge to the ongoing festival season. Right-wing groups allege love jihad. After Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi met with Union Home Minister Amit Shah a few weeks ago, the BSF jurisdiction has been widened in Punjab from 15 to 50 kilometres. The Punjab Chief Minister is now under attack from his own party. They say he unwittingly has managed to hand over half of Punjab to the centre. And a huge embarrassment for the Karnataka Congress. 2 congressmen discussed DK Shivakumar's alleged drunkenness and corruption just before a press conference in front of mics and cameras. The video has gone viral. Former Prime Minister of India Dr. Manmohan Singh has been admitted to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences. He was complaining of fever and weakness. After petrol and diesel, now a hike in the prices of CNG and PNG burn a hole in the pocket of the Aam Aadmi in the national capital region. And it is Durga Ashtami today. It is being celebrated across the length and breadth of India. We'll get you a ground report from where else? Kolkata. Top minister in the Modi government has finally broken silence over the Lakhimpur Kheri violence. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has called the violence in Uttar Pradesh's Lakhimpur Kheri absolutely condemnable. Now this, as a Congress delegation led by Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi today, met the President of India demanding once again the resignation of MOS Home Ajay Mishra. A senior Uttar Pradesh minister, meanwhile, has reached out to the families of party workers who were killed in the Lakhimpur Kheri violence, but no senior Uttar Pradesh government minister has yet visited either the farmers or the journalists killed. Alok Pandey with our lead story.
Just a few days ago, we saw how in the state of Uttar Pradesh, 4 farmer protesters were killed by a cabinet colleague's son. And the son of your cabinet colleague is in jail right now because he killed 4 farmer protesters. I was wondering why there is no word about this from the Prime Minister. We just pretend. Are we pretending to be asleep?
No, absolutely not. And it's nice of you to have picked up that one incident, which is absolutely condemnable. Every one of us say that.
A top Modi government minister speaking out for the first time over the Lakhimpur violence, but with riders, at this interaction at the prestigious Harvard Kennedy School on Tuesday. The son of Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's cabinet colleague, MOS Home Ajay Mishra, is under arrest on murder charges.
Due course of justice will also have a complete inquiry process to establish it. And it's not being defensive about my party or my Prime Minister, it's being defensive about India.
Another first on the ground in Lakhimpur, with a senior UP government minister finally reaching out to families of BJP workers killed in the October 3 violence. But no UP government minister has visited the families of the Lakhimpur farmers so far.
हाँ, कानून मंत्री जी आए थे, उन्होंने हमसे बताया हमारे लड़के की निर्मम हत्या की गई थी, उस पे बहुत जल्द से जल्द कार्रवाई शुरू कर दी जाएगी.
But with MOS Home Ajay Mishra unwilling to resign and his party the BJP backing him for now, a Rahul Gandhi-led Congress delegation met with President Ram Nath Kovind and claimed the President has said he will speak to the government over the issue.
वे सिर्फ न्याय चाहते हैं और सबसे महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दा उन्होंने ये उठाया कि जो गृह राज्य मंत्री हैं देश के, जो अपराधी के पिता हैं, उनकी बर्खास्तगी की जाए।
जब तक वह व्यक्ति मिनिस्टर है तब तक सही जांच और न्याय नहीं मिल सकता है।
The UP police today arrested Ankit Das, the nephew of a deceased Congress MP and Union Minister and a close associate of Ashish Mishra. Das was allegedly in one of the SUVs that crushed farmers on October 3. A bail petition by Ashish Mishra's lawyers was rejected by a Lakhimpur court. Ashish Mishra, the son of the MOS home Ajay Mishra, spent the second day of his 3-day police custody being interrogated by senior police officials. With Pratik Srivastav and Vineet Verma, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Well, moving on, festive cheer resonating in Dalal Street with the Sensex and Nifty closing at fresh all-time highs. And while there have been no fuel price rise in the last 2 days, CNG and PNG prices have been hiked across Delhi NCR for the second time in this month, burning a hole in the common man's pocket.
Sanjeevan Yadav, a 45-year-old taxi driver, is showing us his loan papers and says he upgraded from an auto rickshaw 5 years back to a taxi. But now, with the spiraling gas prices, it's time to downgrade and even sell his wife's jewelry to repay his loan.
गाना जब रहा था वो कह रहा है ये बनकी लगा के हम ऑटो हम दिलवा देंगे आपको। प्रधानमंत्री जी को कि हमें बहुत आशा था, बहुत आपका मैं जैसे गुजरात में डेवलप करते हमें लग रहा था कि अब भारत की भी ऐसे डेवलप करे, गरीब को भी डेवलप करेगा, मगर आप जो है अपनी डेवलप कर लिए और गरीब को पीछे छोड़ दिए।
52-year-old Mohammad Irshad, who drives an auto rickshaw on rent, says he barely earns enough to pay for the daily rent of his auto rickshaw, which is 400 rupees. With the latest CNG price hike of 2 rupees 48 paise, he says he's a step closer to giving this up.
सारा काम ही टोटल 600-700 रुपए का हो पाता है, इतने खर्चा होता है, मतलब CNG या 400 उसके हो गए, ऐसा भरा हो गया। अब ऐसे ही रहेगा तो लोग ऑटो ही छोड़ देंगे।
Since 1st January to now, CNG in Delhi is up from 42 rupees 70 paisa per kg to 49 rupees 76 paisa, up by 12.3%. Similarly, PNG in Delhi is up from 27 rupees 50 paisa per unit to 35 rupees 11 paisa, up by 27.7%. Vibha Jha, a homemaker in Delhi, is worried about her budget amid festive season. Increase in PNG price means budget cut in other expenses.
ये PNG का 15 दिन में 2 बार बढ़ गया। इधर डीजल पेट्रोल का तो खैर कोई बात ही नहीं, टाइम टू टाइम बढ़ते जा रहा है। 10 दिन 15 दिन में घर का बजट गड़बड़ा जाता है, त्योहारों का समय आ रहा है।
The CNG and PNG prices were increased by Indraprasth Gas Limited for second time this month, after government recently increased domestic natural gas prices by 62%.
After the opening up of lockdown, while the common man was expecting some respite from the government in terms of fuel prices to restart the work, instead the consecutive rising fuel prices has burned a hole in the pocket of each and every household. Now the question is whether the government is going to take any concrete steps to provide some respite to people or continue to be a mute spectator. With camera person Shashikant Jha, Akshay Dongre for NDTV.
Well, on to the other big story we're tracking tonight. Aryan Khan and others will spend yet another night at Mumbai's Arthur Road jail as the hearing in their bail plea will continue at noon tomorrow. Aryan Khan's lawyer has reiterated in court that he had no money or drugs that were found on his person. Meanwhile, the NCB has said that if he is given bail, he could use his influence to tamper with evidence. The NCB also produced WhatsApp chats in court today. They say this proves illicit drug trafficking. Sohit Mishra and Rohit Khilnani with the full story.
A new charge against Aryan Khan by the Narcotics Control Bureau today. Illicit drug trafficking. And that he was in touch with a foreign national for procuring hard drugs in bulk. Trafficking, the most serious offence under the NDPS Act. If found guilty, Aryan could be sent to jail for 20 years. NCB in its reply opposing the bail plea of Aryan Khan has said, There is material on record so far to show that accused number 1 was in touch with some persons abroad who appear to be a part of an international drug network for illicit procurement of drugs. The investigation in this regard is in progress. There is prima facie sufficient material in the form of WhatsApp chats, pictures, etc. to show that the applicant was an active part of the illicit drug chain with other co-accused persons. Appearing for Aryan Khan, Senior Counsel Amit Desai described the illicit drug trafficking charges against Aryan as absurd. He argued no drugs were found on him. He was arrested even before entering the cruise. WhatsApp chats cannot be the basis for invoking drug trafficking charges. Replying to NCB's claim that Aryan had admitted to procuring drugs, Aryan's lawyer said that even the court knows how such admissions are procured and that NCB was dumping all charges on Aryan Khan. But these are young kids, not peddlers. The Anti-Drugs Agency opposed granting bail to Aryan Khan, arguing that considering the influential position of Aryan Khan, he could influence witnesses and tamper with evidence, which would affect the investigation.
After Magistrate Court, the NCB provided copies of WhatsApp chats to the Sessions Court as well, claiming that there is international drug involvement in this entire matter. The hearing will now resume on Thursday, and Thursday would be an important day for Aryan Khan as well as other accused in this matter. With Arvind Gunasekara in Delhi and Sunil Singh and Dhanesh in Mumbai, Sohit Mishra, NDTV.
Aryan Khan was arrested on 2nd of October and on 8th of October he was given judicial custody. Since then he's been at Arthur Road jail. By every passing day, of course, Shah Rukh Khan family, friends, everybody behind these doors of Mannat must be hoping that Aryan Khan gets to come home soon, and today was one more day when they were hoping that he could come home. And outside you can see the fans. Here it's business as usual. These are fans who know about the case and also are waiting to get a glimpse of the superstar. So nothing has changed here. But going by what the NCB lawyers are saying and the arguments in the court, it's evident that they need more time. They feel this could be a bigger conspiracy. They feel that he could be a part of something that's bigger than what meets the eye. So just keeping a close watch on this case, reporting from Mannat and keeping a close watch on the case is Rohit Khilnani for NDTV.
Well, we'll keep a close watch on all those developments from court tomorrow. Meanwhile, the centre has upped the BSF's jurisdiction at border areas in Punjab. BSF's jurisdiction has been widened from 5 kilometres to 50 kilometres after a meeting between Charanjit Singh Channi and the Union Home Minister a few weeks ago. Now, the Congress government and the Akali Dals are protesting against the Chief Minister. The Punjab Chief Minister is under attack from his own party, with Sunil Jakhar today taking to Twitter to say that he has unwittingly handed over Punjab to the centre. Meanwhile, on to the latest COVID numbers, 15,823 cases in the last 24 hours. This is around 10% higher than yesterday. Cases in the last 24 hours are up by 10.54% compared to yesterday. 226 people have died in 24 hours. Deaths are also up by 24.86%. The recovery rate in India has passed the 98% mark. It's the highest since March 2020. Tests in the last 24 hours are also up by 12.15%. India's tested 13,25,000 people. The daily positivity rate is down to 1.19%. It's been less than 3% for 44 days. But according to top health ministry sources, the government now expects to hit a historic 1 billion vaccinations milestone by the 18th or the 19th of November. This will be driven by an increase in vaccine supply for manufacturers. 28 crore doses will be supplied in October, say sources. This compared to the 26 crore that have been received by the government in September. Additionally, 60 lakh doses of Zycov-D, the vaccine that's been authorized for use in children over the age of 12, will also be available in the market starting this month, say sources. However, guidelines for administering this vaccine have not yet been released. So far, according to government data, 73% of India's eligible population has received one dose of the vaccine and 30% of those eligible have received both doses. Well, the other big political story we're tracking tonight, it's a huge embarrassment for the Congress party in Karnataka. A video of former Congress MP and now spokesperson V.S. Ugrappa and party media coordinator Salim gossiping about quote-unquote corruption and drunkenness of their party president DK Shivakumar at a press conference when half a dozen mics are in front of them has gone viral.
This video of Karnataka Congress spokesperson V.S. Ugrappa and media coordinator M.A. Salim has become a huge embarrassment for the party. Just before a press conference on Tuesday, the two of them are heard talking about alleged corruption, referring to the party president DK Shivakumar by name and also make some personal remarks. After the video went viral, Salim was expelled. Ugrappa gave what sounded like a lame duck explanation.
This is the allegation made by Bharatiya Janata Party. That is the version he was about to tell. When I am about to address the press conference, he came and whispered that was captured by the media people and that has been used. That is why party has taken some disciplinary action.
So my disciplinary committee headed by Mr. Aryan Khan has already expelled and notice has been issued.
That a Congress party spokesperson and the media coordinator sought to gossip in front of media mics and cameras, that makes this entire episode quite hilarious. But of course this is a huge embarrassment to the party president as well as the party itself, and some rival parties now demanding that Mr. DK Shivakumar should resign and that there should be an inquiry into the allegations of corruption. With Nihal Kidwai in Bengaluru, Uma Sudhir for NDTV.
Well, communal overtones at Navratri celebrations in Madhya Pradesh have given a very divisive tint to what used to be a community festival at one point in time. The 10-day pujas is celebrated through the community pandals, and the Garba dance is something that brings people together. Now, 4 Muslim men were arrested after right-wing groups alleged love jihad against them.
At a Garba event at the Oxford College in Indore, 4 youth, 2 of them students of the college, arrested at the instigation of the Bajrang Dal, a right-wing organization that accused them of love jihad. 21-year-old Adnan Shah, a BCom second-year student of the Oxford College in Indore, was asked by the committee organizing the Garba event to volunteer. He was on duty helping students park their vehicles at the cycle stand when Bajrang Dal members barged into the event and created a ruckus.
मेरी ड्यूटी पार्किंग के उसमें थी, गाड़ी सब पार करवाना. ये लोग करीबन झुंड के झुंड मतलब 100-150 लोग एकदम अंदर चले आए. वहाँ पर आते से ही उधम करने लगे, ऐसा कुछ तोड़ा फोड़ी भी करी और उसके बाद फिर एक एक करके उन सबके नाम पते पूछने लगे. और उसमें मैं वहीं खड़ा हुआ था, उन्होंने मेरा नाम भी पूछा, मैंने उनको नाम बताया मेरा अदनान शाह, तो उन्होंने कहा तू साइड में आ जा इधर. वहाँ पे जो मैंने उनको बताया कि मैं इस कॉलेज का स्टूडेंट हूँ और वहीं पर मैं पढ़ता हूँ, ये मेरा वॉलंटरी कार्ड इस कॉलेज वालों ने बना के दिया है.
4 youth, all from the minority community, were taken into preventive custody.
गरबे के दौरान कुछ लोगों के, कुछ युवकों की, चूँकि भीड़ काफ़ी थी और युवकों के विवाद होने की स्थिति बनी थी, जिसमें पुलिस ने प्रिवेंटिव अरेस्ट 4 लड़कों का किया था और उनको बाद में SDM कोर्ट से जमानत दे दी गई.
Shockingly, there has been no police action against the Bajrang Dal members who disrupted the Garba event at the college. Few years back, senior BJP leader Usha Thakur warned Garba organizers not to allow non-Hindus and asked them to screen the participants on the basis of their voter cards. Usha Thakur is now a Minister of Culture and Tourism in Madhya Pradesh. In Bhopal, with camera person Rizwan Khan, Sameer and Sajid Ratlam, Anurag Dwari for NDTV.
Well, sadly, a communal tint to the festival season there in Madhya Pradesh, but Durga Ashtami was celebrated across the length and breadth of the country today, and those are pictures coming in from different parts of the country as people offered their prayers on the occasion of Durga Ashtami. My colleague Manideepa Banerjee caught up with all the festivities at Kolkata's puja pandals.
It's Maha-Ashtami today, and perhaps with the blessing of the goddess Durga herself, Kolkata has survived the Burj Khalifa fever. There are people out today seeing normal pandals. This one is a British castle look-alike, I believe. But here are some people who didn't even try to make it to Burj Khalifa. Just not safe, they said. So you have a young son. Did you want to take him to Burj Khalifa?
No, I never wanted to take him to Burj Khalifa. I basically feel it's crazy. In this COVID situation, we should always avoid crowd. And this is basically overcrowded.
What about you? Didn't you want to go and see it?
The first time I really wanted to go, but when I found out about this crowding and all that, so the craving for it really went away.
The scare is still there, the fear is still there. So we thought we'll just take our car and come here and go back and see the streets, how it's lighted up and all, because she needs to see at least one. So we came all the way and we'll go back now.
What do you feel? It's already Maha Ashtami. What do you feel about?
Yeah, we are really sad that it is already getting over, but as we always say that we are waiting for next year to come and enjoy the rest 2 days.
Kolkata as optimistic as ever. Already looking forward to Durga Puja 2022, hopefully COVID-free. As they say every year, Ashe Bochor Abar Habe. With Giri Shankar, Monideepa Banerjee, NDTV.